Greetings, fellow archer Imagineers! In the immortal words of Emperor Sheev Palpatine at the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker, I'm back, bitches! Oh boy. So yeah, DuckTales, True Who. I've been gone for like a month because I had a long work day before the Duck episode. I didn't have time to watch that. And it just kind of started a domino effect of procrastination. Last week I was tempted to watch it because of the Daisy of it all. I definitely want to go back and check all that out because I am a big Donald and Daisy shipper in this show. This show is really the only time I've actually been rooting for them.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, here we are, the first adventure, young Donald Duck, young Della, and not only that, but we get the formation of Fowl. We get to see how Fowl infiltrated McDuck Enterprises. I mean,
yeah,
there's just there's a ton of stuff in here. There's a ton of lore. We get some Von Drake, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Suffice to say, honestly, I think the lore of this episode almost kind of overshadowed the first adventure part. Not that the adventure wasn't good, but it just kind of felt like, all right, we're on a standard treasure hunt. I will say, we'll get into it. Della's characterization was absolutely on point. Donald's characterization, I like, having just watched the episode, I don't know how I feel about it quite yet, honestly.
Is it the voice?
No, the voice is great. I love the voice. It's just the characterization with the rich uncle running gag and him with the guitar. It's a little much. It's a little much.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into it. I'm not entirely poo-pooing it at all. I just think I have to get used to the whole kind of rebellious young Donald, which really threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with me tonight we have Claude Karinga. How you doing, Claude?
I'm good. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for filling in and taking the reins while I was away. We also have Monkey.
Hey.
Hey there, Monkey. How you doing?
All right. Already did an egg shake, but let's do another to be safe.
Are you recovering from that Different Strokes episode?
Yes, the one with Anna and Hans. That's all the context I'll give for now. The Van Drummonds is the name of the episode. It's early in season 6. Good luck.
And then also with us tonight, it's the incomparable Jacob Weil.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Jacob, you'll be joining us for the Disney debates this next week, along with our Fantasia Forever pitch, our second stab at a full-on reboot of Fantasia. So I'm really excited for the what?
Fanforgia?
Well, we called Fantasia 3 Fantasia 3000, so at this point I think Fantasia Forever is just kind of a more classy title. But I'm excited about it. All right.
Yeah.
So gentlemen, what did we think about this episode? I already kind of gave my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's a good origin story. Again, it's real good to see the lore, and we get some. And I do quite like seeing, how Bradford fits into this, his personality, where he stands in this whole thing, how he sees himself.
It's funny because this episode, I feel like we all expected it to be oh God, this is going to be a big Donald and Della episode, and they were definitely part of the episode for sure. But Bradford was arguably the main focus of the episode.
It's almost it's kind of like he's this episode's equivalent of Thanos in Infinity War or something.
That's a good description. Yeah.
Plus, it also showed how he got in there and how provided a logical explanation and how he was able to get into Scrooge's inner good graces without him even knowing he was there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the
definitely
while,
some geek out moments.
All the while using the power of the MacGuffin wisely to boot in that regard.
Yeah.
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 All right. Let's see. Claude, what do you think of the episode?
Yeah, it was a pretty good episode. Good flashback origin story for Bradford and Black Heron. Seeing how she was like the first
didn't
agent
realize
of Power.
Yeah, didn't realize that. Yeah, didn't realize Heron was going to be, such a big figure this far in the game.
Right, right.
She even came up with the name Power by adding the F.
Yeah.
It's like he just suggested like the organization for world larceny.
Yeah, so
It's
Bradford's not just
Foul.
gonna
I
Foul,
was
he
like,
straight up
we're
created
getting a
Foul.
foul. We're getting a foul origin story, aren't we? Oh, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
All right. You see that, Solo? You see that? That's how you do a cool name reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Solo. Right.
It was nice to see Duckworth in this episode.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Living
Claude.
Duckworth.
Before
Yeah,
he became
that was refreshing.
before he became terrifying.
Before he became terrifying and just
You
like,
mean before he
sucked
became
people
more
out of children
terrifying?
on a nightly basis.
Well, yes, before terrifying.
Yeah, before he was more terrifying.
Yeah.
The question is, did Black Heron kill him though? Based on what she won the Papyrus at the end? Scrooge's psychics will perish?
I think.
I'll remember its exact words, but Duckworth is his butler, not his sidekick.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on that quote unquote mission.
Yeah, true.
And that's also why Donald and Della didn't perish either, because they were his family, not his sidekicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Jacob, what are your overall thoughts on the episode?
All right, that was a pretty fun episode. I was kind of based on like the description. I was gonna say based on the initial description, that was gonna be like some artifact to like turn them into kids or something like that. But nope, it was actually I was pleasantly surprised to figure out it was like a whole episode flashback.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I gotta say, I was pretty impressed to seeing this definitely makes sense to see, and I like the interaction between the younger kids, like between Donald and Della as kids, and technically speaking, there's also a younger Scrooge here before he became all jaded and everything.
Right.
Do you think the joke is that like design-wise, Scrooge hasn't changed at all?
Yeah, he's like I think he's probably been that. He's probably looked like that for probably like over 70 years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere between the Gummy Berry adventure and this is when that aging would have happened.
But I thought it was a fun episode. Provided a lot of interesting insight between like how some of these relationships came to be, and the Donald is consistent from what we've seen from like the Christmas episode. So
yeah.
So I mean, it's not entirely like it was just like drawn up specifically for this episode, but it might take a little bit of getting used to. But I think it's interesting to see like how he went, and it also does tie into the fact that he eventually did get into the Three Caballeros in this universe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? All right,
I didn't think of that.
That's a good point, and I take back everything I said about musically inclined Donald. Honestly, with that.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we get a flashback to how the Caballeros met?
Oh, I want that so bad.
Donald in college? Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway. But anyway, I thought it was a fun episode. Like, I'm not sure if I'd call it up near the best, but it definitely had like some of the best lore moments that we've seen so far.
That's a good way of describing it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm sorry, I can't contain my geekdom any longer, man. We got to talk about freaking Ludwig von Drake.
Gave you this job as a favor to your granny mama.
Yeah, who's his grandma? That's the question.
Right. The voice of Von Drake is just so damn on point. Jacob, your mic and camera are off. I don't know if you're. There we go. Okay.
Yes, sorry about
that.
that.
It's like Corey Burden's been playing Von Drake for years or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and turns out he invented Scrooge's pogo cane.
Yeah, another callback to the game.
Yeah. No, something I'm wondering after rewatching. So, Von Drake has the Rubik's Cube, And then, like, there was that Rubik's Cube in the episode where we met Steelbeak.
Yeah.
Like, and at the end, Bradford was talking about, like, how the, like, Fowl's mission statement as he worked the Rubik's Cube. What are the odds it's the same Rubik's Cube? And therefore, could Bradford be responsible for Von Drake's absence?
His death? Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, yeah.
I mean, at that point, because Von Drake was the leader of Shush.
Now, do we get any sort of a flash forward between the first scene and then the Scrooge stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, Bradford
It's
lost his hair.
definitely a flash forward.
Well,
Okay.
technically, at that time, Beakley was a director of Shush.
Yeah.
Right,
Beakley
okay.
became
I just
director.
wanted to clear that up because I
Yeah,
like
it wasn't entirely clear that they jumped forward.
I like how subtle they are about that, though. They don't have to have like a 5 years later or whatever time frame it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah. Anyways, going back before the flash forward happens, of course, we already talked about the owl foul reveal. That was a big geek out moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we get Bradford, insisting it's not bad guy stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that is such a compelling thing for Bradford, where it's like
I agree so hard.
he genuinely, like, he's almost kind of like a cartoon, like mini Ozymandias from Watchmen, where it's not even that he's got an ego like Ozymandias does. It's legitimately that he's just like looking at it from a business point of view, and like he genuinely isn't malicious about how he's going about it.
Yeah, it's like you can sympathize with his goal of trying to rid the world of chaos. But then again,
He's trying to take over the world by doing it, so.
yeah. Like, what was it? So, like, as Jacob has mentioned a few times, apparently, like, one of the themes of this season is legacy. So is Bradford eventually going to have to say that his legacy may be as a villain?
I love that you just talk over that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just making a dumb Hamilton joke.
I was Hamilton came to mind at the end of
like,
that,
legacy.
as what I was saying.
What is a legacy?
Legacy.
Planting seeds in a garden you never get to see.
America, you sweet unfinished symphony. I sing. All right, I'm done.
Foul, you sweet unfinished symphony.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like, what are the odds that by the end of the season he's gonna you realize your legacy is gonna be a villain, in spite of you claiming you're not one.
Yeah.
Now I'm the villain in your history.
Yes, there we go. There's the worldwide enough reference.
That brings to mind something he said when. I mean, this is a minor spoiler for the Darkwing episode. When the kids found out that he was actually that he was the bad guy, he's like, I don't see myself as the bad guy, but it's all about perspective. But I guess from your perspective, yes, I am the bad guy.
Yeah.
And again, another tie to I noticed with the Darkwing episode is like there's that part after he and Heron land on the island where he's like, your showboating is going to cost us the Papyrus. And yeah, that adds an extra layer to the helicopter gag at the end of the Darkwing episode.
It's like, would you rather fly around in an unmarked helicopter?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not a new thing with their dynamic. It's always been there.
You should really consider but it's kind of funny. Like pretty much all the people he's recruited for Foul are either megalomaniacs or idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Heron's kind of obviously like an egocentric megalomaniac. I mean, Taurus Bulba was obvious to try to turn on him. Steelbeak in this version is an idiot.
And then you could say the same of Rocker Duck. So
it's like he's weak. Yeah, he's weak.
Yeah, so the most valuable, the most competent one is probably Phantom Blot.
Yeah, probably. Because he got better as he fought Magica over the years, so.
Yeah, he seems, like less of the crazy idiot.
Yes, and he has more reasonable goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Mo Solo of Agent also.
Right.
Either way.
I like what Black Heron got arrested for at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, like never rest.
Yeah, trying to cover face
And,
into
like,
Mount Everest.
it's like, oh please, I wasn't trying to blow up Neverest. I was trying to carve my face into it.
It will be an improvement.
Yeah,
Nice
Mount
callback.
Everest just as a reference was cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a callback to the season 1 episode.
Speaking of season 1 callbacks, Scrooge told the story about the Golden Suns and El Capitan.
Yep. That's a reference to the original DuckTales.
Yeah, I appreciated that reference.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I checked. Yellowbeak is from like an old Carl Barks story.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
And he's also
now
voiced by Corey Burton. in
Yeah,
this
Corey
episode,
Burton.
too.
That also doesn't surprise me.
What was it? The shot where they find his skeleton at the desk. I swear that's straight out of like James of the Giant Peach. Like when they find Jack Skellington on the pirate ship.
Mm. Mhm.
And then the ship on top of the mountain. Well, that's Typhoon Lagoon.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, can we just imagine how scary that the Papyrus would be in the wrong hands?
Uh-huh.
It's like, cause like it's I love I kind of like really love the trope of like a literal genie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then like and just gets literal magic scroll of parchment.
Mhm.
It's like he's like he wanted to evade them, so he shipped right down this island. Wanted water, they flooded the island.
Drowned them.
Yeah, drowned them on dry land.
Mhm.
What was it? So Bradford wrote, as far as the Duck family knows, I wasn't here. So does that mean technically Webby and Beakley could know he was there?
Well, I mean,
Eventually,
yeah,
however the rules go.
eventually, possibly, mostly.
Well, Beakley didn't know at all because Black Heron stopped Scrooge from
Yeah.
telling her.
Yeah. But
It
then
could
the
be-
weird part is that Beakley highly recommended Bradford at the end.
And she doesn't trust anyone, Scrooge says.
Yeah. And then it's like, and you came highly recommended by Director 22.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, it's entirely possible that he was upstanding within the company,
Oh, yeah.
but obviously had loftier goals.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Von Drake never revealed it. Oh yes, that Bradford guy, he wants to take over the world.
Maybe Von Drake was going to reveal that, and then Bradford disposed of him
I
somehow.
honestly think that's very possible. Honestly.
No, what are you doing? Stop!
Red, yellow, green, red, blue, 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 red, purple, green, yellow, and red. Goodbye, Director Von Drake.
Oh my god! Okay, I just want to say, if we see that song as like a code or something in this show, I will die. I will just.
You mean a
die.
second time?
Right. Yeah. Like I'm saying, if we see it in like some really epic kind of like oh my god, we need to punch in the code or else red.
Red, yellow, green, red, blue, blue, blue.
Oh god, I love that so
Orange,
much.
Uh-huh.
Red.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But we don't. Wait, but this is an old black and white TV. We got to do the black and white version. Black, white, gray,
Oh,
gray,
God.
gray, white.
Well, like I said, considering Von Drake was there, you think he probably would have said, you know what's up for that Bradford guy? He kind of wants to take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder what the other buzzards fit into this, though.
perhaps he just brought them on board, and perhaps Bradford just brought them on board down the line to help
Could
with
be.
his goals.
Yeah.
Technically,
They
If
were
they're
at the
actually
Christmas party.
related.
But
Unless
it's funny
they're
'cause
robots.
I still think it's kind of funny that's where Scrooge remembered him.
Uh-huh.
I remember you.
Starts
My
to sweat.
My Christmas party. We're practically kin.
Thank
Yeah,
God
good
they
callback.
Thank
Uh-huh.
God they didn't remember SpongeBob's embarrassing photo from the Christmas party.
I'm sure the Ghost of Christmas Present does.
Merry Christmas, SpongeBob.
Uh-huh. Unless Featherly has it.
Yeah. Like I said, goes to Christmas present. So let's see.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see with Santa Claus.
Right. So we got to see young Donald get angry.
Yeah, let's talk about young Donald for a second because, I do the one like Jacob said, like the one thing that I wasn't entirely clear on with his with his characterization was the guitar stuff, and then Jacob mentioned the Caballeros, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm totally willing to.
And we did also see him with the guitar in the Christmas episode.
That's true. That's true. If anything, the rich uncle thing was maybe a tiny bit repetitive for me personally, but that's a very minor nitpick with the episode as a whole.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Being dead could throw off my whole day.
I wonder if he's actually died before.
It's possible.
I mean, he's been alive for so long. It's possible that he's died every now and then. I mean, who knows? Scrooge is a duck who's seen it all.
Yeah.
He's like a less jaded Rick.
Much.
Louie! I've turned into a pickle, Louie!
Oh, God. Louie, turn it over. It'll be a big reveal. Big reveal, Louie.
We've got to get the Szechuan sauce, Louie. You love it so much. Well, let's go get it.
Oh man! All right, we could go down a rabbit hole here. All right.
Oh, yeah. What have I wrought here?
Something I noticed that I'm sure has to be intentional. So like when Scrooge is reading the letter from his sister, it's like, oh, your angel niece and nephew. And then if you look back at the short where Huey, Louie, and Dewey first appeared, the letter Donald got from his sister is like, your angel nephews.
Uh-huh.
That has to be intentional.
Yeah. And the fire thing, like how the Quackmore got injured.
Oh yeah.
And also kind of similar to how they were foisted onto how the nephews were foisted onto Scrooge in the episode itself.
He even gives them marbles.
Yep. And like both this series and the original series too.
Oh, I do like how we get to see Della fly in a plane for the first time.
Yeah, that too.
And the reason why she has to fly the plane is hilarious. Like Bradford wasn't even ready, and he's like, "You're doing this now?"
It's basically like the exact same scenario.
It's like, oh please, there's no way they could survive that landing, and then they land. It's like, are you sure about that?
At least it didn't crash.
Yeah.
It's like Launchpad.
I was kind of wondering if we were going to see a young Launchpad in this episode. Honestly,
I mean, I would love to see like a young Launchpad.
Like how Scrooge and Launchpad.
We saw young Launchpad in the Halloween one, so
that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Well, yeah, and wait, I forget? Did Della know who Launchpad was before she came back?
No. He was her replacement.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, Bradford uses the nothing but trouble line here. Yeah. Running things, being used in good new ways. Well done.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've pretty much run the gauntlet on this, unless you have anything else to say.
That bookend of this is the start of a beautiful fiendship or friendship.
Fiendship was at the beginning with Black Hammer.
Yeah. Dramatic tools.
And so you got this. It was quite an interesting episode. Young Donald, Della. See where Donald's arm swinging and temper came from. But it actually highlighted his protective nature when it happened because it was his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Theoretically, this is before he started seeing the therapist. So that was always there.
So Lord knows it. Lord knows he needs a therapist.
Yeah.
Well, we know he found one.
Yes.
Good for him.
So, not
Black
as he,
Heron keeps losing her arm and falls.
yeah.
Yeah, how does she survive? That's the real question.
Who knows? Like me. Well, maybe she just finds a way.
Heron finds a way.
All right. On that note, guys, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, it'd be interesting to see where things go from here. I mean, it's just a flashback, and I guess we can't really know how things are going to progress. It just shows how it got to this point. So, still an interesting look back. That's all I pretty much have to say.
Yes.
Right?
All right.
Okay, well, I hope to be back on a permanent basis with this. I just need to watch through the episodes that I have not seen, and hopefully I could do that in a pretty timely manner. Let's
gotta
see.
make like a tomato and sugar and ketchup.
Right. All right, guys, thanks for watching this week. Thanks for watching this week. Have a good time. See you next week. Woohoo!
Woo-oo.
Woohoo.
Granny Mama!